Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be kicking off this Navratri and Diwali season with a sweets recipe. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing my recipe for this Ghee Mithai. Now this Mithai right here has no butter whatsoever. All we're going to be using is this pure vegetable ghee. Now this video of course is being sponsored by Sugrams. As I had mentioned before, Ron Sugram is the owner of Sugrams and he is a wholesaler of vegetables and nursery plants. If you want to reach out to him, you can get things like tulsi, hot peppers, karaila, bora, different types of bhaji or spinach, wiri peppers, cucumbers, other herbs, baigan, pumpkin. The possibilities are endless. So make sure you reach out to Ron. All you need to do is call his number 201-772-2201, or you can email him at ron_sugram@yahoo.com. Make sure you reach out to him, tell him that Matthew sent you and that you want to purchase some of his items, and he will be able to send them right to your door. So this way it's very convenient and you can have some quality ingredients. When I make my parsad or my sweets with this ghee, the flavor is great. Nothing ever comes out too oily or whatever the case may be, and it's so delicious. So I definitely think that you all should give this a try. All you have to do is either reach out to Ron, or you can go to your local West Indian or puja store and they should have the Sugram's ghee in stock. The first thing we're going to do is start off in a large bowl with some all-purpose flour, and we're going to be going in with some baking powder as well. At this point, we're going to start to flavor it with some of our spices. So I'm going to be going in with some roasted and ground anise seeds. Now, anise seeds give a nice licoricey flavor and a warming flavor to your mithai, and it's like a classic taste whenever people make mithai. So definitely try not to forget it in this recipe. And then I'm going to be going in with some freshly grated nutmeg. Of course, you can add in whatever spices of your choosing. You can add in cardamom, you can add in cinnamon, cloves, whatever the case may be. Some people even add in ginger. It depends on your own tastes and preferences. We're also going to be going in with some custard powder, and what the custard powder does is it gives the mithai a very rich taste, and it also makes it nice and soft and melts in your mouth. We're just going to give everything a good mix with our clean hands until everything is well combined. And at this point, we're going to be going in with our ghee. As I mentioned, this is a ghee mithai recipe. This does not have any butter. If you want to see how to make mithai with butter, you can either swap out the ghee for butter here, or you can go ahead and check out one of the many different recipes that I already have on my channel, and all of those have butter inside. At this point, we're going to mix everything together and keep on mixing until that ghee is well combined with the flour and the dried ingredients. And mithai would not have that classic taste without having some freshly grated coconut on the inside. And this part is totally optional, but I'm going to be going in with some finely chopped maraschino cherries. And I went ahead and made sure to use some of that juice from the cherries because I wanted my mithai to have a little bit of a pink color on the inside. And on top of that, I went on with some vanilla or mixed essence. It totally depends on your own preferences. And I'm starting to stream in my evaporated milk. Now what we're going to keep doing is streaming in more evaporated milk a little bit at a time until we get a nice soft dough. You basically need to keep on adding carnation milk or evaporated milk until you start to stop seeing dried flour. The reason being is if you make the dough too stiff, your mithai will be very hard and they will actually break apart too much. And if you make the dough too soft, it's just going to be very hard to roll out, and they might still be a little wet on the inside even after you're done frying them. So I finished mixing my dough for my mithai, and right here you do not need to let anything rest, you do not need to let it sit. All I went ahead and did was allowed my oil to heat up on a medium heat, and then I started this process. All I'm doing is I'm putting it onto my board and I'm going to roll it out to about 1/2 inch thickness. And if you wanted to roll it thinner, you can do so. If you roll it thinner, you'll get a crispier mithai, but I want these to be very fat and fluffy in the middle. That's why I'm rolling it on the thicker side. At this point, we're going to go ahead and start to cut the mithai. So I'm just cutting it into some strips, and you can make them as big or as small as you want. I like my mithai on more of the medium size. Some people like it very tiny, and some people like them very, very big. But once you get them cut into strips, you're going to go ahead and cut them into your desired shapes. I'm going to go ahead and cut them in the regular triangle and trapezoid shapes, but you can cut them in whatever shape that you wish. So once you finish cutting out your pieces of mithai, it's time to start the frying process. So into my hot oil, which has been heated on about a medium to medium high heat, I'm going to go ahead and add in a batch. Now you do not want to overcrowd the pan. All you need to do is make sure you keep on moving them around and stirring them, and just allow them to float up in that oil and keep on turning until they get an even golden brown coating. This process is going to take about 4 to 5 minutes. And after a few minutes of frying, you're going to see that all of your mithais are nice and golden brown. You're going to see that they got nice and fluffy and fat in the middle, and that is exactly what you want. So while I went ahead and took these out of the oil, I'm gonna let them drain on some paper towels, and then I'm gonna add in my second batch, and I'm gonna keep on frying until I finish frying all of my dough. And at this point, we're gonna start to make the sugar syrup. So in a heavy bottom pot, I'm gonna be going in with some water, and then on top of my water, I'm gonna be going in with my granulated sugar. We're just gonna mix this up, we're gonna put it on a high heat, and once it comes to a boil, you're gonna lower the heat to about a medium. And when it gets to the medium heat and it's boiling, you're gonna allow it to boil for about 8 to 10 minutes. Now make sure you are watching the sugar syrup. You do not want too many bubbles to be on the top, because if there's too many bubbles, it might be an indication that you overcooked the syrup. So make sure you keep on watching it. You're gonna want it to get to about a 1 to 2 thread consistency. So again, the time is gonna vary for everybody, but after about 8 minutes, I went ahead and saw that my sugar syrup has nice little bubbles forming around the side of the pot, so that might be an indication that it's done. So I went ahead and I took 2 pieces of my mithai that I already fried, I put it in a bowl, and I'm gonna drizzle just a little bit of that sugar syrup on, and I'm gonna toss it to see if the sugar syrup is done. If you start to see it get white and cloudy, you know it's done. And of course, if it doesn't get white and cloudy, you need to cook it for longer. This right here is a surefire way that you're always gonna know if your sugar syrup is done, versus you pouring it on all of your mithai and then you ruin it if it's not gonna get crystallized. So I'm seeing here that it's not really turning white or cloudy at all. So I'm gonna wanna cook this for about another 2 minutes, and I'll show you guys what it looks like. So it's been about 10 to 11 minutes in total, and this is what the sugar syrup is looking like. It got a little bit thicker. So I went ahead and I poured some more of it on top of my mithai in my little bowl. And as I'm turning it, you're gonna see that it starts to get just a little bit cloudy on the spoon. Once you see that whiteness and that cloudiness forming, that is your indication that you need to take off that sugar syrup and you need to toss it into the rest of your batch of mithai. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pour it onto my mithai, and I've put it in a big bowl so I have space to toss it up. And I'm just gonna keep on turning until all of the mithai is coated and everything is nice and white and crystallized. And as you all can see, it's coming together very nicely. All of my mithai pieces are getting nice and coated with that thick sugar syrup, and this right here is the perfect texture. So as you all can see, that is how quick and simple it is to make some ghee mithai at home. We didn't use any butter, we used that amazing Sugram's vegetable ghee, and let me tell you what, this mithai had such a nice rich flavor in the middle of it just because we used ghee instead of butter. Make sure you go ahead and reach out to Ron Sugram. Again, I'm gonna leave his number and his email right up top here in the screen, and all of his information will be in my description box right below this video. You can purchase so many fresh items from him, bottled items such as this ghee. He also has coconut oil, lots of pepper sauces, achar, whatever the case may be, just reach out to him. He'll let you know what he has, and he can go ahead and put it together a box for you and send it to your door. He has quality ingredients, great ingredients, and they're at a great price. I hope you all enjoyed this ghee mithai recipe. If you want to see more Diwali and Navratri recipes to come in the future, please go ahead and like, share, subscribe, and go ahead and drop those comments down below and let me know what you would like to see next on my channel. Bye everyone!